Broadcasting live from the historic Big Dome, the Araneta Coliseum, ABS-CBN Sports brings to you Season 72 of your UAAP.
The University of the East made heads turn with an emphatic blowout win over last year's runner-up on opening day.
Zamar, he loves the sign. He loves the sign. Yagas.
Behind their veteran core, the Red Warriors prove they are undeniably a battle-tested squad who will not back down from anybody.
What a move by Webb, but what a rejection by Elmer Espiritu. Winnipeg.
The defending champion Ateneo Blue Eagles opened their title defense with a statement win over a powerhouse squad.
Out to Eman Monfort, gets it to go!
With the bench supplying ammunition and the veterans sealing the win, Ateneo served notice that it has still a firm grip on the crown.
Will not be denied! He will not be denied on that move. And that Good afternoon, Philippines. Welcome back to the Big Dome, the Araneta Coliseum. This is ABS-CBN Sports continuing live and exclusive coverage of UAAP Season 72. One color, one goal, only on Studio 23 for the more than 1 million subscribers of the Filipino channel. Good day to you for those watching the replays on Balls Channel 34. Good evening. And those experiencing the coverage in full high definition and Sky Cable 166 Balls HD. Welcome to another edition of the UAAP on Studio 23. Your main event is the University of the East Red Warriors versus the Ateneo de Manila University. Opening day winners, opening weekend winners at the start of the 72nd season of your UAAP. Hello again, Boom Gonzalez together with TJ Manotok. A big game for both these teams. TJ Ateneo proving its championship mettle and composure down the stretch against FEU as they had contrasting wins. Them and UE blowing out LaSalle and actually holding down LaSalle to its lowest output since 2004.
That's a big feat for UE, but you know what, going into their first games, both teams did not have a walk in the park, that's for sure. They both went up against really solid teams and some solid programs. As you said, Ateneo squeaked past FEU in a really tight game that went both ways, and it was a playoff atmosphere kind of a game already, even though it's the first game of the season. For UE, they went up against LaSalle, who a lot of people know that they have a lot of rookies. Their old reliables of JB Casio and Rico Marhofer are gone, and it's still a big question mark who will step up and fill in their big shoes. But UE really creamed the De La Salle Archers to the shock of the whole league and giving their own statement. If Ateneo had a statement game that they deserve to be one of the top-ranked teams, UE saying, teka lang, don't forget us.
We're still elite.
Exactly.
We're still part of the elite.
Exactly.
7 straight years they made the Final Four. Talking about the Red Warriors, they held LaSalle to 46 points in that game, while Ateneo squeaked past FEU only by 4 points. Let's look at the team standing so we can get a clearer picture, especially after the UST win earlier today, TJ.
Well, UST is now 2-0, and they dropped NU to 1-1. As you see, Ateneo and UE, of course, both at 1-0, and it'll be nice to get those first wins and to get a good win streak to start the season, although I know it is a challenge for both these teams. You know, starting out the league with UE going first against LaSalle, then Ateneo, and then Ateneo on the other hand going up against FEU, then UE. So it's not an easy start. Normally you'd want to start with the teams that are not as established with their programs and with the way people are ranking them, so you could get your rhythm. But they're not this way for these two teams.
Those two players you saw, Nonoy Baclao, Elmer Espiritu, that's going to be an interesting matchup. And speaking of matchup, let's look at our Corneto comparative stats. Selecta Corneto, tip to top, shut up. Let's look at how these two teams did in their first game.
Well, very interestingly, offensively, they're very close together. UE had 65 points in that game. Ateneo had 63 points in that game. The difference is, probably surprising a lot of people also, UE played better defense. I mean, in terms of the points allowed, they only allowed 46 points from LaSalle as compared to Ateneo allowing 59 points to FEU. Field goal shooting, 35% for UE, 36% for Ateneo. Pretty much, an average of the league. It was not so great, not so bad. Rebounding will be an interesting battle today. You know, these two teams have very solid big men. You have Ateneo with the MVP, Raba Aluseni, and Defensive Player of the Year, Nonoy Baclao. On the other hand, you got Pari Llagas and Elmer Espiritu. I wanted to mention the last stat there, turnovers, Boom.
Yes.
UE had 20 turnovers, Ateneo had 14. This will show the difference of the coaching styles. Even Coach Norman Black himself said he's going to have a tough time reading the offense of UE because they're very open court. They're very freewheeling offense, and there's not much structure to the offense. They're allowed to do what they want to do based on their talent alone. And that's what Coach Lawrence Chongson brings to the table for UE. For Ateneo, it's a little bit more controlled, a little more, define their roles on the half court. And when they can run, they run. But that's why they have less turnovers as compared to UE. As you see, Coach Norman, they are, up to today saying, I don't know what to expect from UE.
14 turnovers, that's a championship team right there in a playoff atmosphere against FEU. Let's focus our attention to the particular players, the specific players that did well in games number 1. Now, this guy on your screens, I covered that game, obviously, TJ Reed, me and Randy, and I did mention how he struggled from the field 3 out of 14, but he did so much for that team, just like what you saw right now. He played decoy and dished out to Elmer, he dished out to Pari Llagas, and he became an overall contributor for UE.
And I won't be surprised if he continues to play this way for UE. I mean, he is probably the most athletic guard on this team. The way he can drive, the way he can slash, the way he can go straight to the basket and attract the defense and give out those, I'd say, acrobatic passes. It's not easy to make a drop pass while you're in midair and having the accuracy of finding your big man. He had 7 assists in that game, together with 6 rebounds, even though, as you said, he did struggle from the field, only 11 points. And we say only because we do expect Paul Lee, who has become one of the dominant players even in the semi-pro leagues, he can't score more than that.
And we'll break down more of the numbers with Paul Lee later on the other side of the fence. And we've covered the game, Ateneo versus FEU. You pointed out ever so often in that game how the bench really of Ateneo outplayed FEU in that game.
Exactly. You're talking about guys that you didn't expect to come off the bench this year. I mean, especially since one of them started last year. You're talking about the Rookie of the Year, Ryan Buenafe, came off the bench, scored 10 points and grabbed 2 rebounds. Nico Salva, the sophomore, also scoring 9 points and 3 rebounds. And the comebacking, Eman Monfort had 8 points with 2 3-pointers, actually, and 4 rebounds for a little guy. For the little guy, 4 rebounds. But you know what? That's all the bench points that they got.
Yes.
It's great. It's 27 points off the bench. But guess what? UE actually had 38 points off the bench against LaSalle. So that's a statistic that will be staring at the face of the bench players of Coach Norman Black. Can they match up with the power off the bench of UE?
Well, the veteran and now the champion coach, Norman Black, will go up against the rookie coach, Coach Lawrence Tiongson, who got his feet wet, but they got a win in their first outing. We'll take a break. We'll be back with a big game between Ateneo and UE here on Studio 23.
72 of the UAAP. Let's meet the starters for the UE Red Warriors. At forward number 9, Elmer Espiritu. Forward number 21, Val Acuna. Center number 15, Pari Llagas. At point guard number 10, Rudy Lincanay. And at shooting guard number 20, Paul Lee. The head coach of the Red Warriors, Lawrence Chongson. And now, celebrating its sesquicentennial 150th year on December 10 of this year, here's the starters for the defending champions, the Ateneo de Manila Blue Eagles. At forward number 11, Eric Salamat. Power forward number 14, Nico Salva. Center number 19, Raba Al-Husseini. Off guard number 8, Bacon Austria. And at point guard number 5, Shai Reyes. The head coach of the Blue Eagles, Norman Black.
Saw the starters for Coach Norman Black and Coach Lawrence Johnson, and interesting as we will give you that lineup right now. UE changing the starting lineup from the last game when they started with Llagas, Linganay, Acuña, Alabanza, and Tagarda.
Look at my eyebrows. I was like already raising my eyebrows to the interesting mix of the starting lineup now for Coach Lawrence Johnson, but nonetheless, he's not pulling any punches.
Yeah,
This
obviously.
is their strongest fight on the floor right now. He wants to start strong.
Paul Lee, who came off the bench, and that's why they had their output up to 38. Well, is now starting.
But he and Espiritu were off the bench.
That's right. And here's the interesting thing. Kurt Long and Nonoy Baclao are getting ready to come in. I think Coach Norman Black did not expect Coach Lawrence Johnson with this move.
I don't think he did. Not with the way he starts back on Austria and Nico Salva.
Lee, crossover again. No score yet. Both teams already had a hand. And that basketball, Espiritu not ready for that. 9 on the 24. They go back to Linganay. Paul Lee asking for it against Austria. Little disorganization on the UE offense, but Acuña says no problem. That is a 3. They start off with that. They shot 24% from the three-point area in the first game.
First three-pointer for Acuña here in season 72. He was 0 for 4 from three-point territory against LaSalle.
And they go back to their bread and butter. Their meal ticket, Rabah Al Husseini. 10 on the 24. Jai Reyes puts up the 3. That's gone. And the rebound going to Linganay. Elmer Espiritu trying to catch up with the rest of the gang. 1 minute and 30 gone by here in the first. Glad to have you with us as Acuña tries again. Gets it to go!
Well, he's got a really smaller guy defending him at the wing move. That's Jai Reyes, who's giving up, I'd say, what, 5-6 inches to Acuña? So that's cherry pickings for him to shoot over his head.
Back-to-back threes. His first 2 threes of the season, as TJ mentioned. Salamat pulls up, and the first 2 points, courtesy of Ateneo. Now you go back to that game against Ateneo FEU. 8-1 was the start. FEU really started strong, started hot. Ateneo just maintained their composure, called the timeout, and stormed back. And after that, they never looked back.
Exactly. So, we already saw once Ateneo have a slow start this season. We'll see how they can react here in the next couple of minutes.
Nico Salva. That hot potato goes to his right. Back on Austria against Paul Lee. Asks for the roadblock. It's not going to be easy when you have Elmer Espiritu defending. And Jai puts it up in the air.
The time on the clock, he knew it was less than 10 seconds, and he had to find an opportunity. That is a little jumper.
Oh, Paul with a great incursion just came up a little bit short. And numbers advantage for Ateneo. Austria loops it up. And that's the Elmer Espiritu effect.
He wanted to put it up early before Espiritu gets in the lane.
Paul Lee again able to get inside and looking to set up Liagas. Our first opportunity to throw it to the third team of our broadcast team, Jessica Mendoza from Ateneo. Go ahead, Jeff.
Winning the first game of the season has not made the Blue Eagles complacent. In fact, they've tailored their recent practices to combat the much quicker moves of the UE Red Warriors. Coach Norman Black stressed in particular the importance of the transition defense and to guard the UE's high scorers to prevent them from making fast break points. On the offense, he wants to take advantage of the big men, attack fast and hard as often as possible. Boom, TJ.
Thank you very much, Jessica Mendoza. Make that the third member of our broadcast team. And speaking of threes, third 3 of Acuña as Husseini sees back iron for that jump shot.
I don't really remember Acuña taking a lot of threes last year. I mean, he didn't have that much playing time to begin with. But he's not, I mean, he's got the size of a small forward or even a power forward. But he likes to play the perimeter. I guess Coach Lawrence has seen the potential in him to be a perimeter player.
Hot shooting by UE, giving them this 11-4 lead. Kurt Long now and Baclao inside. Jai Reyes trying to join the party. And Paul Lee comes away with another rebound. That's his first, actually. He had 7 in the first game. And you know, the Paul Lee-Eric Salamat matchup is always a joy to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Lee seems to always play well against Ateneo. If you remember, DJ, he loves the challenge against Ateneo.
If I'm not mistaken, doesn't the rivalry go back to high school?
Well, they were
juniors, or they were teammates.
with San Sebastian.
Okay.
UE is 3, make that 4 out of 4 from beyond the arc. That should be.
It's a goaltending ball, but an 8-1. but it's called goaltending nonetheless. But look at the three-point shooting of UE Boom. I mean, even that three-pointer of Paul Lee was fading away to the corner. They've got 4 triples already.
4 out of 4 as we go into our first time out with Samsung Imagination Lives. We're back with you here at the Araneta Coliseum. The hot shooting of UE, 5 out of 8 from the field, 4 out of 4 from the three-point area. They're actually 1 out of 4 from the two-point area. Espiritu joining the party, and he sends that baby home.
You gotta be kidding me. And Coach Lawrence Johnson just cool and collected, not even reacting to that 5th three-pointer that his team just made. 5 out of 5, reminding his boys to get back on defense.
Raba forcing the issue in that one. 17-6 is the score coming up on the halfway point of the first quarter. Elmer thought about it, drives on Nonoy, but called for the traveling.
That's good as Waterloo. We've seen him being called for that many times in his UAP career.
Let's go to our 4th member of our broadcast team, Tiff Adendido from UE. Go ahead, Tiff.
One game does not win a championship. The game against the LSU last Saturday is obviously history. And for this game against the Blue Eagles, coach reminded the boys that if there is any big game, ito na yon. Ateneo is ranked higher than us, and if there's anything to prove, it's to ourselves na kaya natin sila. He emphasized on defense, playing smart, playing hard, and playing with a lot of pride. Booming, TJ?
Thank you very much, Tiff Atendido, for a Samsung courtside update. Well, Ateneo had something to prove against FEU in the last game. Now Coach Lawrence Johnson wanting his team to prove something against one of the 2 preseason favorites.
Yep.
Safely put. Salamat from the elbow. Nothing. Baclao with his first offensive rebound of the game. It's that Salamat Paul Lee matchup, both from San Sebastian. 4:30 to play, 17-6 is the score. It's the biggest leader ball game.
Ateneo looking stagnant here in offense. They're standing around. They're spaced out okay, but they're not moving.
And Eric draws the 3. That's short. So another slow start for Ateneo for the 2nd straight game. Acuna looking very confident after nailing 3 three-point shots. You had that query about Acuna earlier, TJ. He has 3 three-point shots in this game. He only had 2 last season. 2 out of 9.
And he only took 9.
He took 9.
See, that's why I remember him from last year's team, but I don't remember him taking outside shots that much.
In the meantime, Paul Lee already with 5 points and a hot start as Reyes from the elbow gets it to go.
And it's Jai who's had a pretty good start from the perimeter here for Ateneo. It's still nothing going in terms of a rhythm for the big men of Ateneo. Nothing from Baclao, nothing from Aluseni yet.
13 on the 24. Acuna again. This time way off the mark. His first miss from that area. Salamat. Again, the Elmer Espiritu factor playing. He taps it to Paul Lee. Paul Lee accelerates. Plays decoy once again. And he puts it in over Nonoy Baclao with a left hand.
The left hand, a beautiful stretch there by Acuna.
Leading scorer of the ball game, TJ. He got 11 points from the former Iloilo National High School standout. Kirk Long tries another 3, his 2nd of the ball game. And the 2nd miss, the tap going to Paul Lee.
Whoever's going to be playing off guard or small forward and Huey's going to back off from, he's going to have to hit that shot. That's the 3rd time that they've backed off so far from Kirk Long, and it's only the 1st time he took the shot.
Offensive foul on number 20, Paul Lee. His first one on UE.
First personal of Paul Lee as we look at the SPS Bank assist. Simple lang, maasahan. Let's look at another one, the extension from Val Acuna as we go into the Samsung timeout with Samsung Imagination Lives. We are back with you for more of the UAAP on Studio 23, looking at our Corneto player matchup this time. Selecta Corneto, tip to top, sarap.
MVP numbers for both big men of the respective teams. Barillagas, 15.7 rebounds. We saw Raba Aluseni's numbers in the first game.
Oliaga shot 7 out of 10 from the free throw line, TJ. Wow. That's where he made his money. Oh, Buenafe blocked by Espiritu. There he is again. Espiritu had 3 blocks in the game against LaSalle. Acuna sends it out wisely to Paul Lee. It's 21-8. 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining. Linganay back to Espiritu. Top of the circle 3. Ooh, halfway down. And look at the hustle of Linganay. Paulie goes to his left, spins back right, sets up Acuna for another 3. This one's short. He has missed 2 now. He's 3 out of 5 from beyond the arc. Under 2 minutes to play. And then Ateneo looking for an offensive rhythm here. They sit down Raba Aluseni already.
It's an open shot again for Kurt Long that he passed up.
Well, he missed 2 already, so somehow his confidence level's not there.
But they're going to give him that.
Exactly.
You got to shoot this one. 1 second to go.
Good line. Actually, it was off to the left.
This is a kind of setup when you miss a dead shot like Chris Chu.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, albeit, you know, they have scorers, they have slashers, they have guys who can lead, but I don't see anybody shooting as hot as Chris Chu shot last year.
It's our Jollibee Young Doubles Duo candidate. Enjoy the best things in life. Val Acuna and Paul Lee starting scorchingly hot here in the first quarter. Acuna swings it to Paul Lee. His hand at a 3. Rattles out. Espiritu offensive rebound. Clip from behind, and that's a foul. Paul Lee almost got it to go. In 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining. It is a 21-8 lead, and the foul called on Kirk Long. And Ateneo trying to regroup here as we look at our smart instant replay for helping sports.
You know, the last 2 plays down court for UE, I'm sure Coach Norman Back will not be happy with the way that the rebounds just fell into the hands of the UE players. Earlier, it was the smallest guy on the court, Nganay, who picked it up for them, and then now Espiritu all alone, no box out, no body on him.
5 rebounds already.
Already.
2 blocks, 5 rebounds for Elmer Espiritu.
They only gave him 2. Doesn't he have like 3 blocks? You know how blocks can be
But I'm sure
arguable.
Yeah, but he bothered around 5 shots already.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a foul called on Linganay on the shooting Jai Reyes.
And that's where I think they have to be aggressive, because they're backing up on the 3-point shooters of Ateneo. They're challenging them to take that shot, because you can see UE's defense now is really focused inside. They want to clog up that lane.
Our Smart Instant Replay showing the clip on the hand. Smart Instant Replay, we're helping sports there. And another angle. Jai Reyes, the free throw line. The former finals MVP in the juniors division. Former rookie of the year. As we look at Eric Salamat from San Sebastian. Now on the bench. Under a minute to play. Jai, of course, taking 3 free throws. As he was fouled from the free throw from the 3-point area, rather. He did not shoot any free throw in the first game, so those are his first free throw attempts in season 72 of the UAAP, and as usual, he is a dead shot from there. Baclao sits down. Raba has come back on for Ateneo. 21-11, under a minute to play. Hot start by the very relaxed UE squad. You know, earlier in the hallway, during the warm-ups, they were just playing around. They were doing one-on-one drills at each other.
They look so loose. They look really loose on the court.
I got to talk to some of them too, and I'll share with you some of the conversations that I had. Ooh, another offensive rebound for you. This time it is Randy Reyes
Coming out of nowhere. So for 3 consecutive UE possessions, they have missed their first shot, but there's been an offensive rebound.
Salva with a good move. Stutters a bit, but comes up short. No confidence on the pull-up. And now we're under 10 seconds here in the first quarter. 23-11, and it is Paul Lee with the basketball. Looks for the roadblock. Acuna again. This time it's short, but a good attempt. Acuna has now cooled down. He is 3 out of 6 from beyond the arc. But the UE Red Warriors with a hot start.
They are awesome. They are looking really good, really smooth offensively. I mean, they're not running set plays. They're just driving, kicking out, getting offensive rebounds, playing good defense at that. That you got to give them credit. They're working hard on the defensive end.
And here's one of those threes by Val Acuna. Jollibee Champ of the Game candidate. Big Burger goodness like no other. He has 11 points, 3 out of 6 from beyond the arc. He only took 9 3-point shots last year, made 2. But how can they sustain it against the defending champions? That's what we'll find out when we come back. And over Ateneo. Welcome back to Studio 23 viewers and the Balls Channel 34 viewers in the replay. Boom Gonzalez, TJ Manotoc, UE, Ateneo, and Acuna.
He ain't done, dude. He's not yet done. 4 out of 7?
Yes, I think so. Stroking it well today. They are now 6 out of 12 from beyond the arc, talking about UE at 50%, very high clip. Now it's the biggest lead of the ballgame at 26-11. Husseini from 16, he's been off the mark, and Paulie again with another rebound. That is his 4th of the ballgame. He had 7 as Acuna gets the escape dribble on Ryan Buenafe.
That's what's going to make him scary. He's hitting the outside shots, and he's driving quick into the paint.
Extreme confidence too.
Yeah.
There's so much conviction on the move, TJ. It's not that hesitation kind of a move. We have a substitution delivered to us by KFC. Its finger looking good. Alex Salamat featured for that one. Raul Acuna back on the line. Yes, go ahead.
We've seen Coach Lawrence Chong's son coach, you know, a bunch of teams already in different leagues, and we've seen that he really likes to give a lot of confidence to his players, knowing that what their talents and capabilities are, giving it to them and saying, you can do it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, in more words than one, you know, he just really lets them let loose on the court and lets their talent just explode. I mean, there are times it blows up in its face.
Yeah.
Wherein,
That's the risk.
Yeah, that's the risk. That's the risk. No, pag wala masyadong sistema. But if you get guys who are really on the same page and still get a free-flowing offense and have so much confidence in their abilities and in confidence amongst each other as teammates, that's dead.
And I covered the first game against LaSalle as we see another miss here by Ateneo. I talked to the players prior to the game talking about Lawrence Chongson, and they said it was freewheeling, as I mentioned. He allows them to make their decisions, and even in the practices he's very loose, comical even at certain times, and probably that's what's contributing to them being very loose in this game. As we look at the Smart Instant Replay, we're helping Sports, UE with possession once again, almost losing it. Ateneo, TJ, 1 field goal in more than 6 minutes of play. 1 field goal in more than 6 minutes of play.
And as much as we're talking about how freewheeling and good-looking the offense looks right now, we have to give credit to their defense, dude. They're holding down the defending champions to only 11 points so far.
That's a great defensive setup, though, by Ateneo. They get the ball back, and they go down low. Great move by Raba. He just could not finish it. Raba struggled.
And take note, they're doing it with single coverage, Boom. They're helping a bit, they're showing the help, but they're not double-teaming Raba.
Oh, what a play! Reyes unable to get it to stay down. He catches up to Eman Montfort, though, with under 8 minutes to play here in the first half. 28-11, the biggest lead for the UE Red Warriors. Salva with a fake, drives in, puts it in, and that solves that problem of a drought in more than 7 minutes of having nothing. Great defense by Eman. Eman has Salamat. Salamat has Paulie flying by.
Beautiful kick there by Eric Salamat. Here's a bit of a run for Ateneo. Let's see, back-to-back baskets to see if they can mount on this and get better defensive stops.
That lead is down to a baker's dozen. Turnovers for UE, helping Ateneo to slightly crawl back here. Paulie again from 3. This time, nothing. Montfort providing a little energy for this Ateneo squad. 8 points, 4 rebounds in that last game. Now Husseini. Salamat looking for the ball. Gets it in the corner. Puts it in! And he gets it to go for 3.
And now the nice spacing, which was there in the first quarter, it's working out better for Ateneo because you've got Raba realizing, okay, I'm in a bit of a slump. I'm going to look for my teammates. A nice pass to Nico Salvo earlier, and now a nice skip pass to Eric Salamat.
Got a 7-0 run. Acuna with a wonderful move. Oh boy, prime time move by Acuna.
Who is this kid? Can someone do a DNA test if he's the same Acuna from last year? If he looks the same, but man, this is a totally different player.
Let's flash back a bit though. Clear, precision, stop, clear men, no dandruff, just cool hair. This is the back-to-back hits that they made. Ateneo, talking about Ateneo, they extended into a 7-0 run, but was broken by Val Acuna, who will star